Hey guys, we're here. Just wanted to make a quick video on the eyelids of the VL. While I've owned this car for probably over 20 years, I've had only one eyelid ever work. And when finally having time to pull it apart and see what the problem is, I discovered that on YouTube and other information, there really wasn't much information on the mechanical side of things. So what I've done is I'm not going to show you how to unbolt it or anything like that, but basically what I've done is I've just taken the eyelid in the center off with screws, unscrewed it all, just so I can maneuver this without scratching all the paint. So that's been put aside, and I'll take this off and I'll show you what I've discovered. Okay, so here we are, taken off. And what the importance of this video is really just to show the mechanism behind it, because this is where I really struggled, and I spent probably hours searching just for a photo, just to be able to view the underneath of this. So the eyelid, what I discovered, the first thing I discovered was that one was really stiff, so I've cleaned those up. The other thing I discovered was there was a wire that was loose, which was the one of the positives. And the last thing, which was probably the most important thing, was that I was completely missing a mechanism. So see that there? There's nothing in between it. Whereas on the other side here, there's this bracket here. I'm completely missing it, right? Which, when the motor, everything else is there. There's that one there. It's got these little white caps. These little white caps. Wait, oh, there we go. Little white caps that are really important. This one here I've just fitted on like this, so I'll just take that off. They just unclip straight out. You just pull them out. Needs a little bit of love, but be careful with them. Now you can buy these guys brand new, and that's basically what I've done. I've had to get inventive. So what I've done is I've gone over to Bunnings, and I've gone and bought this bracket, right, a couple of those, and I've made this thing, all right, to replicate this guy. So what we've done here is basically, because it's adjustable, we've still continued to make it adjustable. We've just sliced that bracket sort of in half and then made a groove, put 2 bolts. Look, you guys can probably come up with something better, but at the end of the day, that's what we've done. Got the drill, certain holes. Now these guys here, this was the most important part. This little guy here, right, you can purchase from Holden. There's the card, right? They probably cost about 40-50 bucks. Be really careful with them. I noticed that you have to drill the right size hole. And what I've done, the first time I went to go put it in, I actually cracked one of the sides of it. So I've had to sit it and glue it back up again to make sure the hole is right for it. All right, so that's all nice and tight, and now we're about to put this all back together again, chuck it on and see whether it works or not, or whether there's some other issues. But again, what we're really trying to achieve here is showing you guys the mechanism involved behind the eyelid. Okay, so if you're in a similar situation, well, you see a lot of these guys, the brackets online. Oh, for the life of me, I could not find one of those, right? If you look hard enough, you might be able to find somebody who's got one somewhere, or buy them complete. But basically, that's what I've done to fix the situation. Let's see if it works now. Okay, so what we've done is we've fitted these off. Okay, put that on, re-greased with white grease. This one here, it was a little bit off. We had to change the bracket around the opposite way because it was hitting this bracket here. I did have to bend it a little. The most important thing was that I had to readjust this eyelid because it was sticking up about that far. There's a bolt down the bottom there, right down the bottom there, right on the end. You have to loosen that one off, push it back, hold it tight, and then tighten it back up again. Do the same thing. This side was good because it already had the bracket, so that was the original side, and that was the good side that was working. So just a few little tips there. My only concern at the moment is that I may have drilled these holes a tiny bit too big. Best to use a stepper when you're drilling the holes, and that they fit in comfortably, but I think it will still do the job. Okay, so here we are, part 2 of getting these nose eyelids to work. So what we've done is we've come over to here. We have changed all the relays behind here. There's 3 behind there. We've put the power in and we've connected each one, heard them click, move around a little bit. Right, so we know it's not the relays. Now, I've taken the whole thing off, I've put it on a table, and the first thing I've done is just disconnect the actual motor lever from the rest of the mechanism, and plugged it in to its connection. Right, and so what we've done is we've just come over here. Right, power's on, lights are on, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm about to flick the light. So that's on, that's off, that's on, that's off. Okay, so all we've done is a process of elimination to determine that this motor is actually working correctly, and where the issue lies is somewhere along this mechanism. So I've already worked it out. I just thought I'd speed this video up a little bit, and what I've worked out is that this mechanism here, this one in the middle, is seized there and there. So what I've done is I've already unbolted it. I'm just about to pull that out. There it is. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to free it all up, clean it all up, and hopefully that's the answer. Okay, here we are a couple hours later. What's happened is I ended up taking off this piece here, undoing those 2 bolts, had to take the motor out because it was in the way, and this entire rod there, that rod there, going through this guy, they were full seized to the point where even WD-40 wouldn't seize it up. I actually ended up getting the heat gun, heating it up, and then slowly taking it off, and then sanding it back, cleaning it up, and I've just greased it all up nicely, put it all back together. Right, it's all connected, and then just lined up the lights, and here we go. Here's the final test before we put this back, and there we go. So both down, both up, both down, both up. So always best to do it outside the car so you're not mucking around, you can see everything, and then when you're finished, you know it works, chuck it back in, just eliminates a few issues there. Okay, so I hope this video's helped, because let me tell you, I couldn't find any information, or not a lot of information, and nothing in detail when it came to the motor and the mechanism for the eyelids. So thank you very much.